Hi everyone. You may have heard that I'm doing a thing around leadership, and I wondered whether it might be good for you to hear me talk about it. So I've asked my friend Sarah here to basically ask me some questions, so it's a bit more interesting than just me talking at you for a couple of minutes. So hi Sarah.
Hello.
Hello. Ask me some questions.
Yeah, so I mean, what is the thing? What are you doing?
So I'm doing a thing called a learning marathon, um, which sounds kind of exhausting, but it's more like that it's a learning marathon because it's 26 weeks. Also gives the idea of like it's not something that happens rapidly, but it's something that happens over like a medium period of time. And my focus is around what I've been calling leadership evolution. And so it's like for leaders and change makers to think about what their next steps are. And the Learning Marathon is this like beautiful, tried and tested structure that I was a participant in 2018 in the first one that happened outside of London. And that is loads of different features which support a group of 12 people. So that's me plus 11 other people um, to explore. We call it a learning question, or you might think research question, or um, like a theme over the period of 6 months quite intensively. And it's kind of like a choose your own adventure mini masters for people who were like, oh, I would love to do a masters, but they're all not quite what I want, and the curriculum isn't quite there, and also they're wildly expensive. And this is like a little mini 6 month masters, but where you like invent your own curriculum, but it's not really an academic thing. It's more about you exploring a question that's important to you.
Sounds great. So you said that it's got to do with leadership evolution. Can you tell me a bit more, like why are you running it? Like why did you choose that theme? Why is it important to you?
I mean, recently I've been a leadership coach for 17 years, working with senior people, and more recently I've actually taken on a full-time job. So I'm the service manager for Greater Manchester's NHS Trans Healthcare Pilot. And so a load of what I've had to like tell other people, or like been coaching other people to do, I've had to like coach myself into. So I've had this like really interesting 9 months looking at what it's actually like to lead something. But as someone who is doing a full-time job for the first time in 17 years, in this world right now, I've really realized that um, it's a tough job. And when I think about the leaders the world needs, I really think we need people who like see the world really interdependently,
Mm.
um, think deeply around the way they work with other people, the structures that they lead within, people who are super aware of climate justice and social justice, and who have a deep sense of self-awareness as well. And
Mm.
one of my broader learning question that I've been holding for a long time is, which was actually connected to my learning question from the learning marathon I did in 2018, is how do I create a space to have for more interdependent leaders to grow more? And I
Mm.
think this learning marathon is a way of bringing together a beautiful cohort of like really different people together, so that we can all learn from each other and have that support. But it's really like telling the truth of like this moment in time right now. Um, the contribution that I think I can make is holding the space for leaders to grow,
Mhm.
and um, that's why I'm holding the learning marathon, because I want, and if it works, it'll be like Meg's annual leadership evolution learning marathon. But it's an experiment, and so I really want to like have some people come along who also want to give it a go with me.
Mm.
Though I have been trained as well as a host, so it's not a total experiment, and the format is really has been experimented with by loads of people, so it's also super robust but kind of magic as well.
Mm. I hope you get badges that say Meg's annual leadership. Um,
Well, now.
I hope so. Hope they've got glitter, biodegradable one. Um, and I guess like, yeah, what you've painted is like this picture of like this space where people can grow and develop into like the leadership that the world needs. Um, and when you think of this picture, like who is your dream group that kind of conjure up in your brain?
I think there's probably two overlapping camps of people. Um, Slightly unusually, one would be a group of people who maybe don't think of themselves as leaders, but are people who are thinking deeply about how to make change in the world, how to nudge us onto a better timeline.
Hmm.
And so those might not be people who um, are traditional like leaders, like senior managers, or even necessarily running a thing yet, but really want to think about their place in the world and what is their work to do, like what is
Mm.
their part of the movement, the resistance, the growing a better future. I think the other camp overlapping with that are people who maybe people do see you as a leader, because of the job that you do and because of the um, like the roles that you play inside an organization. And I'm really aware for those people, because I've been coaching those people for a long time, that um, the kind of people who are moving from like very outcome driven leadership to much more interdependent, longer timelines, deep
Mm.
empathy, like those kind of people, dealing with multiple time horizons and
Mm.
thinking about the way that systems connect together. Um, there's very little place to go to develop those skills, and like your standard MBA won't do that. Like you've kind of gone beyond those skills, but also where do you go that isn't a massive time commitment over years, or isn't like too woo woo and floopy, but like how do you have something that actually is the right container for you? And the beautiful thing about the learning marathon is you choose your own learning question, and so the container holds the group, but the process that you go through and the thing that you're learning about or researching or looking into or exploring, um, is yours to choose. So I think that for those people, I think it can be a really beautiful container to finally find the leadership program that you've been looking for, because partially you're going to create it yourself.
Mm. And so it's much more adaptable as well with the changing times, which you can't write a course about because we're living them right now, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, sounds great. And yeah, if someone's watching this and they're like, yes, 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 how do they find out more about it? Or like, how do they book a call with you?
So if you can find out some more information, if you're not already on that page, you can go to, so my name's Meg Lightheart. I am Meg A Lightheart everywhere, Mega Lightheart. So my website is megalightheart.com. And if you go megalightheart.com/LELM, Leadership Evolution Learning Marathon, then you'll find it. Otherwise, there's a link as well in the top banner to it. That takes you to a page of information. There's a link on there for how to order an information pack. There's a link on there if you want to book in a 30-minute call with me. And I'm wildly open. So like you book in a call with me and it's not going to be some like super selly thing. Really, we're just kind of like feeling each other out. You can ask questions, I can ask questions, and we just kind of go, is this the right thing for you to apply for? And then there is an application form for you to apply. So there's going to be 12 places. One of them's already gone because it's mine. That's another reason why I'm running this learning marathon, is because I feel like I really need to be a participant in this learning marathon. I want a cohort of people around me who are going to support me in exploring my learning question. So yeah, you can book in a call. There's an application form, but if application forms like make you go, then you could answer the questions like in a voice note on WhatsApp. I'll give you my number, or a couple of people have requested we just do it in conversation and I type down the answers. So the applications are open now and close on August the 16th. So yeah, get going. And I think I'm just thinking back to when I was thinking about being a participant. I wasn't totally sure, but something called me to it. And honestly, it changed the course of all the work that I'm doing, being on that learning marathon. So if you kind of have, I think probably from hearing about this, you either have an instinctive ooh or an instinctive and if you have any kind of like then yeah, I really encourage you to follow it and book in a chat with me.
Yeah, I hope people do that. I hope you get your group of emerging and established leaders to like steward the future of the planet. No pressure
No
at all.
pressure. I mean,
Or themselves, yeah.
I do have an instinct that we might look back at the alumni of these learning marathons and go, oh wow. Like my dream is we look at people who are doing significant, not necessarily famous work, but significant work in the world, and we can trace some of those people back to giving themselves the gift of 6 months to explore themselves as a leader and the connections that are made during the learning marathon. There's loads of different features of the learning marathon, but they're in the information pack, and I like they really, if you're not a natural like completer finisher like I'm not, the learning marathon structure kind of takes you through, and my dream is that we bring together like a really magic cohort of people who look back on the learning marathon that they took and go, that was a significant shift in my life. Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for asking questions. And thanks everyone for watching. And yeah, please be in touch. My email is also meg@megalightheart.com. And so if you've got questions, then just drop me an email or find me Mega Lightheart on like Twitter or whatever and send me a DM. Okay, thanks.